Hey, what's going on? How you doing out there today? This is your Uncle Steve. Yes, Uncle Steve right here live in Uncle Steve's Lounge. Thank you for joining us on this gloomy Sunday, but much cooler. So I'll be appreciative of that as we talk a little bit about the 2025 Atlanta Falcons. We are right around the corner. Just think about it. Couple almost seems like yesterday we were talking about 6 months to football, and we have some live bullets shooting out this Friday as we do have our first preseason game. I'm looking forward to that, but want to look forward to seeing how you feel about your Atlanta Falcons. Are you confident or worried about certain aspects of this team? Also, we're going to go and have our Sunday chill fun today. A couple of months ago, they came out with a list from Billboard with the top 75 R&B singers of all time. We'll talk about that. Do you agree with the top 10? Do you like who's number one? Do you want to put your own folks in there? We'll have plenty of time to talk about that here in Uncle Steve's Lounge.
You're in Uncle Steve's Lounge. You're in Uncle Steve's Lounge. Gonna sit down, have a good time. You're in Uncle Steve's Lounge. You're in Uncle Steve's Lounge. Gonna sit down, have a good time. You're in Uncle Steve's Lounge. You're in Uncle Steve's Lounge. Gonna sit down, have a good time. You're in Uncle Steve's Lounge. You're in Uncle Steve's Lounge. Gonna sit down, have a good time. You're in Uncle Steve's Lounge. You're in Uncle Steve's Lounge. Gonna sit down, have a good time. You're in Uncle Steve's Lounge. You're in Uncle Steve's Lounge. Gonna sit down, have a good time.
What's going on? How are you today on August 3rd? We are in August. Man, it's not going to be too long before we start talking about the holidays, man. Can y'all believe that? We are almost at one more month and we'll be talking about fall of 2025. What? I don't know whether it's getting older or whatever, but it just seems like time doesn't stop, and it doesn't. But thank the Lord we were able to get up this morning, and I appreciate everyone joining us here in Uncle Steve's Lounge. We've been in and out over the last few weeks, but of course, with football season cranking back up, we got to get things rolling. Got to have the Sunday chill on a more regular basis and try to get back to our Monday minutia, which we had abandoned here during the off season. But we will be bringing that back. Don't worry. Your uncle is here to take care of you. Your uncle is also here to comfort you as we get ready to go into this new season. Now, there are quite a few questions. I mean, we're Falcon fans. We're fans, period. So if you're a fan of a team, you're gonna sometimes embellish some things. Atlanta Falcons are gonna have the number one offense in the NFL. Boy, that defense is so great. We're gonna have 70 sacks this year. I'm not here to try to tell you what we're not going to do, but I do want to try to see exactly where you are as far as your confidence level with this team is. The 2025 Falcons have a lot of ifs if we want success for this team. We've had a lot of new faces. We got some old faces that I'll be honest with you, I'm probably a little worried about. Some of them coming into their contract years, some of them, injury coming back from injury. I just want to check what the temperature is. So that's what we're going to do at the very beginning. We're going to run down first couple of player groups, and then we'll go to the individuals. And I want you all to play along with me and tell me whether you're confident or worried. And what we'll do is sometime in the middle of this, I'm going to probably drop the link in and see if you all wanted to come on and talk about these things. I have no problem doing that. It's been a while since we reached out to some of my fellow fans, fellow Atlanta Falcon fans, and just see what the temperature is. But that is going to be the first thing. We're going to talk about the 2025 Atlanta Falcons, confident or worried. And then the subtopic today, as I said at the beginning of the intro, there was a list put out about a month and a half ago on Billboard Magazine. Billboard Magazine is pretty much universally known as kind of like the official book of, if it's number one on Billboard, it's considered number one. So a lot of people consider Billboard Magazine number one. So they came out with a list of the top R&B artists of all time. Now, I'll reveal the list a little bit later after we get out past our Falcon talk. But I wanted to get your idea of how much you agreed with this. Now, again, we'll go through the Falcon stuff first, but I just wanted to at least throw up the list that they had up there. And the Billboard list started off with number 10, Marvin Gaye, number 9, R. Kelly, number 8, Mariah Carey, number 7, Prince, number 6, James Brown, number 5, Whitney Houston, number 4, Beyonce, number 3, Michael Jackson, number 2, Aretha Franklin, and the number 1 R&B singer of all time, according to Billboard Magazine, is Stevie Wonder. And again, that doesn't mean he had more number 1 hits. That doesn't mean like he sold more copies. That doesn't mean like that doesn't mean he had the most people at his concerts. This means to this eclectic group of folks over at Billboard Magazine, they are saying he is the best R&B singer of all time. I want to know what you feel. I have the rest of the list. It was 75 of them. I'm sure there are people you can add and subtract, and we'll do that along the way. So get that and put it on the back burner, because we will get back to that. I am very interested to hear what folks thought about that list. And I know when it came out, a lot of people were talking about it, but I am very interested to see what people say about that. But right now, we're going to get into the 2025 Atlanta Falcons, confident or worried. Now, listen, I'll say what excites me the most about the 2025 season is the talent level. For some reason, it seems like when Terry and company went into this season, there was a stress on not only bringing good guys, however you want to say it, good guys, people who get along or whatever, but to bring better talent. Everybody can't get all top 10 draft picks, but you can make it an effort to get the best talent available. And I like starting the year, even with what they did in the draft with Jalen Walker, who was, a lot of people thought he was going to go top 10, and he ended up sliding a little bit, and we were able to get him. But not only that, we were able to poach our buddies down in L.A. and get their pick, and able to grab James Pierce, who during practice, big asterisk, during practice, has seemed to catch the eye of a lot of media folks, people who are out there watching practice, and more importantly, his own team. So I want to go by this list and see what we have as far as confident or worried. Now, before I get into that, I want to thank everybody for joining me here in Uncle Steve's Lounge. If you don't mind, as you come in, go ahead and hit that like button. I want to say hey to a couple of folks out there. Shaka Zulu is in the house, man. Thank you so much. How you doing, buddy? Everything is good here. My brother DJ is in the house. What's good, Uncle Steve? Been a minute since I caught one of your live streams. That's because I haven't had any, DJ. I've been slacking, man. I've been slacking. It's on me. But I am back. You know, obviously the year is starting, and probably starting with these preseason action, it'll be easier to kind of get this content stuff up a little bit. So look forward to seeing some more stuff and can't wait to hear what you got to say about some of these folks. Dondre is in the house. What's up, Dondre? Hey, Uncle Steve. Happy Sunday. Braves won in a classic. Yeah, the Braves is very interesting because think where we are, Dondre. Usually we're at a point where over the last decade where the Braves have been the, hey, if the Atlanta Braves can win, so can the Falcons. This year, the Braves, not so much. And not to their fault. Come on. Everybody got hurt at the same time. I mean, dude, you can't expect to win for people who are down on the Braves. It's a ridiculous thing. Listen, all 5 of your starting pitchers from the beginning of the year have gone down. So for people just losing their minds about how sorry the Braves are, I was like, calm down, y'all. Come on now. It's been 1 year that they've let us down a little bit, and now all of a sudden we jumping off the ship. Come on, let's get better than that. Ron Thomas in the house. What's up, Ron? Good to see you, brother. Thank you again for joining us in Uncle Steve's Lounge. DJ says, by the way, I went to Jeezy's concert last weekend and got the chance to meet him after the show. He's a solid dude. I've heard that about Jeezy, man, and that's the Jeezy is one of the last ones, real ones out there. I just can't say that. It's a lot of them, but he's still hanging on there. I don't see Jeezy showing up at court every 10 minutes or something. DJ say it's always a good day when the Atlanta Dream win. Let me tell you something. So as I was talking about the Atlanta Braves, and that's what we were used to, I'm going to tell y'all, if you are just a sports person and you haven't had an opportunity to see the Atlanta Dream and the only WNBA content or things you hear is Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, and all of that mess, I'm trying to tell you, you're going to mess around and slip and miss a pretty solid team. They beat Washington today, pretty much beat them handily. They were losing in the first quarter, then all of a sudden they start playing their ball. And really, they have about 2 or 3 people hurt. So I'm telling you, if you got a chance to, got some extra bucks and you want to roll down there to College Park and see a winning product, man, what they're doing with the Atlanta Dream is serious, man. The Atlanta Dream have a legitimate chance to be in championship contention. And how many times do you say that about any franchise in Atlanta? So I will say, go ahead and support them. I think they just went to 18-11 today, which is number 3, only behind the 2 teams who were in the finals last year, the Liberty and the Lynx, and we just beat the Lynx at their house about 4 or 5 days ago. So don't sleep on this Atlanta Dream team. They are pretty good, man. Alicia Gray, Ryan Howard, when she is healthy, they're doing some great stuff. Rhea Jones, lighting it up, man. Just some good stuff from them. So get a chance. If you're an Atlanta fan and just want some winning product right now, check out the Atlanta Dream. Dondre say, I just got my blood pressure medicine filled for the season. Well, let's hope we don't have to go into that, but we'll see. ATL Skateman in the house. What's going on, brother? He said, hello, Uncle Steve, 70% confident. I hear you. And we're going to get into that list of confidence because I want y'all to do a little social project with me in a couple of minutes. I see as everybody's coming in. Again, appreciate everyone's coming. As y'all are coming in, please make sure, again, you hit the like button, whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on YouTube, especially on YouTube. Please don't forget to subscribe so you can get some traction in this Atlanta content creator field. A lot of us and a lot of good folks y'all got to listen to, and I want you to do that. I encourage you to go out and listen to as many folks as you can to get various opinions. But your Uncle Steve is here as well to give it to you my way, as I can give it to you. So don't forget about your Unc. Again, hit that like button, subscribe, tell a friend. We are getting ready to get this bad boy started. DJ says MJ and Whitney should be higher. Okay, that's interesting. Also says Beyonce over Whitney is crazy work. Yeah, I definitely am going to get to that. Most definitely. He said, not to get off subject, but I was debating with some New Yorkers, and why do they always discredit us like we haven't influenced a lot of stuff because they are more in numbers, man. New York, it's a lot more folks in New York than there are down here in the South. And when you have that much, and I say New York, just the whole East Coast, Philly, Boston, New York, all up and down that coast, man. We have a metro area, Atlanta, and if I'm not mistaken, I think the last time I saw the numbers was what, about 6 million, something like that. And if it is, that pales. That's probably one of the islands for New York. Like they had like 20 million people in the boroughs, and then again at Philly, at Boston. It's the influence. The influence is real, but you're right. The South, as Andre told him a long time ago, the South got something to say. It is amazing that they do that. Brother Henry's in the house, man. What's going on, man? Happy Sunday to you as well. Hope you all are having a blessed one. You too, my friend. You have a blessed one as well. Thank you for joining us here in Uncle Steve's Lounge. DJ says, I'm not a baseball fan, but people act like the Braves didn't just win the World Series a few minutes ago. Again, as we forget so soon. I know the Braves aren't doing it back to back to back to back, but folks, we got a good team. We got a good team. The injuries caught up with them this year. I hear people saying break up the team from 1 year. And don't get me wrong, if it happens 2 or 3 years, that's crazy. But come on. Come on now. CJ in the house, what's going on, brother? Good to see you, man. Thanks for joining us here in Uncle Steve's Lounge. I appreciate that. DJ also says, I was telling Larry that if I don't go to the Liberty game, I'm going to go to the Dallas Wings game. Yeah, Paige Beckers is worth the admissions. As far as BG goes, me and Larry was saying that her being locked up in Russia is still affecting her mentals, but when she's healthy, she's on the one. You saw the other day when they played Minnesota. She was on one that day. It's going to take a little while. People are thinking this is going to be the Brittany Griner of 5-10 years ago, but it's really not. It's going to take a while, and she's a little older. She's not like a young pup out there. She's the height is great, but she's got a lot, as you said, on her plate. Let's get to this confident or worried. The Atlanta Falcons 2025. I have a list of, first start with a couple of groups. And what I'd like for you to do, because I want to see if you feel like you want to put dialogue on it too, that's fine. But I would like to see you, if you have the ability through your phone or the computer, to do a thumbs up or thumbs down. I'd like to see the thumbs up and thumbs down. Thumbs up obviously means confident. Thumbs down means I am worried. So that's what I would like you to do. And I know it doesn't match up. Thumbs down, worried doesn't necessarily mean you're not rooting for them. But what do you feel about them? I'm going to start with a couple of position groups. And really, this is the group that I'm probably have the most confidence about right now going into 2025 as it's constructed. That's the offensive line, man. I think our offensive line is, to me, the strongest unit on the field. Yeah, I know Caleb McGarry's on there. Yeah, I know he has to do the blind side and all of that. But if you look as a unit at what they did last year, also keeping in mind Kirk Cousins did tell us he was not 100%. I'm not quite sure some of those sacks he took weren't him just being just a smidge more athletic to get out of the way. I think you're not going to have that issue this year with Mr. Penix back there. But thumbs up, confident. Thumbs down, worried as far as the offensive line is concerned. Like I said, again, if you feel like giving dialogue, that's fine as well. But I would like to see what you all are thinking. So, again, if you think the offensive line is on the way, are really going to be a solid part, let me know. Thumbs up. If you're feeling a little pessimistic and like, I don't know, man, McGarry kind of worries me. I'm not sure whether Newsel is going to fill the shoes of Dahlman after he left. Let me know. Henry has a thumbs up out there. He says he believes in this offensive line. Travis, what's going on, man? Travis Wright is out there. He gives a thumbs up on his, and DJ says the O-line is solid. I listen again. We got to start thinking about that. That offensive line did some really good things last year for Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier. I really like what they're doing on the offensive line, so I give it a thumbs up. Demetrius also says the penalties just need to be cut down, and they do. I know. I'm gonna tell you what. Procedural penalties, absolutely. But as far as holding penalties, yeah, we need to cut that down. But man, I'm still encouraged if I see those guys out there fighting and not getting. If they get a holding penalty and Michael stays clean, I'm not saying it's good, but I am saying I like the odds right there. Big Low Country Sports in the house. What's going on, Big Low? Y'all make sure y'all check Big Low Country Sports out on his channel. As always, with his emergency coach meetings, I'm pretty sure we'll have one coming leading up to this first preseason game. He said, what in the world, Bo? My brother, I am doing well, man. Good to see you in here again as I come in a little later on after we get this thing rolling. I'm going to put the link in there, and if you guys want to join in the conversation with this and the R&B singers on Billboard's Top 75, you are feeling free to do so. Shaka says solid O-line, especially with the continuity. That's something that's important to me too, man. The continuity. These guys know each other, with the exception of Newsel, who did play the last 4 or 5 games. I like that as well. So I love it. ATL's Skate Man, same way. He does. He's that way as well. So let's go. So I think we got a consensus on that. So let's switch gears to a group that I must admit, if we're going to play the game of worried, I'm going to put them in the worry, and that's the defensive line. The defensive line worries me a little bit. Again, if you are concerned about the defensive line, thumbs down. If you think the defensive line is straight, Taquan, Kadarius Street, Onyemata, Megan Fox, you think all of them are, did I say Megan Fox? Morgan Fox. I got the lady on my mind. Oh, man. Morgan Fox. All those folks are going to do a great job. Give it a thumbs up. I'm trying to see what you think as Atlanta Falcons fan. This is for the defensive line. So if you think the defensive line, if you're confident, thumbs up. If you're not, thumbs down. Henry says the defensive line looks promising with the draft. Looking forward to Pierce, Walker, and Trice getting after the opposing quarterbacks. I don't have an issue with the guys coming in. I think what concerns me is, as we were talking about with the continuity, are these guys going to work together? I mean, we got a lot of new people, including folks coming off injuries and things of that nature. And I just, as a fan, I can't help but to say I think I'm a little concerned as far as that goes, as whether this defensive line has come together. Henry says he thinks he's confident in it. Dondre gave a fist, so I don't know what that means, but I'm going to assume his confidence. So ATL Skate Man the same way. Yeah, I'm kind of in that position too, as Big Low Country Sports. And again, folks, this is not saying we are quote unquote hating on the defensive line. This is to say these are concerns of ours. And Shaka the same way. It is concerning that these guys have not worked together. Actually, I like the ancillary parts of our team. I like what they're doing with the linebacker crew and bringing Ulbrich in to kind of teach them a reckless, I don't say reckless, but a simpler way to do the defense. Kind of, I want to say dumb it down, saying they're dumb, but I'm just saying making it simpler for them. So I'm a little concerned about that. In order for that to happen, in order for them to fly around, in order for the linebackers to do what they do, the defensive line has got to do their job. Demetrius says what's concerning is the chemistry. If we can rack up the pressure and the sacks. And again, pressure is great. Sacks are better. I think that is going to be key to me. DJ says, yeah, he's a little concerned about that. Henry says Troy Anderson is expendable considering the draft. Pierce, Walker, or Trice can be converted to take over for the injury-prone Troy Anderson. It is going to be very interesting. He is one of the people that I said coming into this training camp that I am really looking at to say he could be moving on. I would love to see him as a backup. I would love to see him, come back in and be able to, do some things on special teams. He actually played pretty good special teams when he wasn't hurt his first year. So maybe we can see if he can get on board with that. So kind of mixed bag there as far as defensive line. I'm definitely not surprised at that. So again, confident or worried. So here we go, folks. Let's get into the individual players for the Atlanta Falcons, and let's see what you feel. And let's start at the top, folks. No team in the NFL will be successful without a quarterback. How are you feeling about Michael Penix Jr.? Michael Penix Jr. has, in a lot of folks' eyes, had one of the best arms coming out of the draft last year. He was a known leader on that Washington team. That was probably just a better showing from winning the national championship. He has the 3 games experience prior to the year, but I also have to keep it real. There were some inconsistencies last year. His completion percentage was a little barely under 60%, which in the NFL, you got to get that bad boy between 65 and 70 if you want to be successful. And that could have been with the learning curve, so I understand that. Are we concerned about being injury prone? I keep hearing people say that. I'm not one to do that because I do feel like that was 3 years in his back. I think he had 2 straight years at UW where he did some great things and again went to the national championship game. And I just wondering about a young quarterback's mix. He is saying all the right things. He seems to be doing the right things in camp. But as my great buddy John Harris would say from the eye test, take it off the paper and put it on the field. So I want to see that, not in practice pads, not in shirts and T-shirts and shorts. Let's see it in the game. And we're going to be able to see it against Tampa. So tell me what y'all think. Confident or worried? Thumbs up for confidence, thumbs down for a worry as far as that's concerned. Shaka Zulu says, we had less than 15 sacks last year, more than halfway through the season. I know, man, right? Demetrius has a thumbs up for Michael Penix. He says he has high hopes for him. Let's give a shout out to Kerry, who's in the house. Kerry came a long way to see the Atlanta Falcons last week. And just a shout out to all those folks we got a chance to. I didn't get a chance to see Kerry. I got a chance to meet up with everybody after the training camp to see some folks. So, hey, good to see y'all. Hope to see y'all during the regular season, especially, and see what we're dealing with come this year. Big Low Country Sports has a thumbs down, which is interesting. I'm going to try to see if I can get him to explain this. But again, I understand. Worried is fair. Worried doesn't mean you're not a fan. Worried means I don't think you're going to come in lighting the world on fire. That's what I have it. I have it as that. I think I'm at a point where I think he's going to be closer to being competent more than confident, because I do feel like with the pieces around him, with a solid offensive line, with some gems as far as a all-world running back and a pretty solid starting wide receiving core, he should do pretty well. Shaka says he's confident. He said that kid showed me something in them 3 games. His completion percentage was probably because of chemistry. With a full offseason, he's the number ones. He will be straight. I'm in that thing too. I'm not saying he's not capable of improving that, but the facts are the facts. He did, whether you're starting off as a rookie or not, he did have some trouble with that. ATL Skate Man, same thing. It's worried. So thumbs down means worried. Thumb down doesn't mean you're giving up hope in them. So folks, if you're worried about Michael Penix, that's fine. That's fine. Worried. If they come out here and have a thumbs down and say he's trash, that's a whole different conversation. But confident, thumbs up. Worried, thumbs down. Demetrius says, I think his confidence will definitely grow now that he will be able to play a full season. I hope so. Round says thumbs up. He thinks Michael Penix is going to be pretty good. Henry says MP9 has potential. Pitts better step up. Ellis and Ebiketie are solid pieces on this defensive line. Augusta Gator in the house, man. What's going on, Gator? Good to see you, man. Can't wait to talk to you during the regular season, man. The Gators, I'm going to tell you, man, DJ is going to be kind of interesting because already DJ Lagway is already one of the best quarterbacks in the SEC. And what? Sophomore, right? So it should be some better things going on for Florida this year. Let's hope the rest of the team can catch up with his talent level. I know you got some folks out there, but it's been a while since you've been able to chomp, brother. It's been a while. Kelvin is in the house. What's up, Kelvin? Says, I'm confident, but better realize he needs the preseason reps. Now, it's going to be interesting. He said in a press conference, I want to say early last week, and asked about whether he was going to play, and he was a little coy about it because we are in a different age, Kelvin, and I hear you. He probably does need to play. I don't need to see him 2 or 3 games, but I would love to see him maybe do a quarter. I don't know whether it'll be this game this week against Detroit, but I would like to see him for at least a quarter to see how he looks out there, some confidence. I keep thinking about last year we didn't let Cousins get out there, and we started off kind of raggedy 1-2, and I do think they need to, get some continuity. So yeah, I hear you. Bigelow says, I agree. I think he has the potential to be good. I'm not confident until I see it. So that's what I'm talking about. That's fair. He missed a lot of throws. I feel like he might be a streaky player. When he's good, he's good. When he's bad, uh-oh. And that's the kind of dialogue that I'm talking about, folks. Look, nothing would do my heart better to see the Penix throw for 4,000 yards, 75%. I know that's unrealistic. 70% completion, 40 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. That's a great stat line. That would be awesome to do that. But quite honestly, a lot of folks don't. So I would just be confident just to see him go out there and give us the middling, man. Let those weapons on your team do the job. Let Bijan do it. Let Tyler do it. Let Drake do their thing. Let that offensive line grind, man. Run the ball. I think we're going to be a run-heavy team. I don't think we're going to exactly mirror the Philadelphia model, but I think it's going to be closer to it. They don't let Jalen, we don't have to let Michael Penix go out there and win games from the moment he gets on the field at a drive. It's nice that he has the talent to, but let that run game do their thing, man. Let them do their thing. J-Rock in the house. What's going on, J-Rock? He says, go Falcons. Yes, sir. Bigelow says, my little country Shady Hayward with them Gators right now is going to turn around. Hey, we'll see. We'll see. Again, I kind of like you said before, I believe it when I see it. There was a time in the 90s and early 2000s that the Gators were on their point, but it has been a minute. So I will definitely believe that when I see that kind of action. Let's get to the next player on here, and it'll be interesting to see what the response on this. Confident or worried? all-world running back Bijan Robinson. I think this, as far as I'm concerned, I don't know. I would want to know more if you weren't confident in Bijan Robinson. I don't know what he has to do. I think Arthur Smith in the end is probably regretting that he didn't use Bijan Robinson more than he did his rookie year. I don't know what kind of drama was going on there, but it was obviously something. But I think Bijan Robinson might be one of the top 5 non-quarterback weapons in the NFL right now in year 3. So when when we drafted him, I'm sure all the shock and awe. But looking back now, yeah, Philly made out good too, but I don't think we did too bad on this pick either. I think I like Bijan. So Bijan Robinson, thumbs up for confidence, thumbs down if you are worried. If you are worried, I got to get some dialogue. Got to. DJ, he said, nah. He said Bijan is the man. Shaka, he says DJ is the man as well. ATL Skate Man has no problems with saying Bijan Robinson. He is confident in what he's going to do. I think Bijan Robinson, if used with health, obviously, and used correctly, he has an opportunity to probably get 2,000 scrimmage yards. I'm hoping he doesn't. That means Tyler Algier is getting some time to spell him. But I think Bijan has I think he's one of about only 3 or 4 guys that has, the ability to do that. But we also have a guy in Algier that can be a load himself. Henry says, I'm solid with Bijan. Absolutely. Rounds also, he says Bijan Robinson, feeling confident in that. Henry Algier said Algier takes pressure off Robinson. Absolutely. That's going to be an interesting thing going into next year with Tyler Algier. Hopefully, we'll be able to work something out where we can keep him. But the running back position is one of those that if you find the right person, if your scouting is doing the right thing, you can find some solid running backs to hit holes and do what they do. But I just love what Tyler has been for this organization. If y'all think about it, man, Tyler ran 1,000 yards in his first season and then had to turn around and now watch Bijan Robinson just take his whole thunder. Almost kind of similar to the Devontae Freeman, Tevin Coleman type thing, but obviously Coleman when Coleman got hurt and Freeman got his chance again, he made the most of it. Travis says, I'm confident about Bijan. I like what I saw at training camp at Thursday's practice. Yeah, man. I mean, what is there not to like? I mean, he is even the practice I went to before they went into the OTAs that we got a chance to see. I mean, he looks like one of those special guys. He is. I think that's one that's probably pretty easy to go to. Let's go with this one because this one is going to be interesting to hear, and I don't want anybody to get tuned off by what's coming next. But Drake London has done nothing but improve steadily from his rookie year all the way to last year. And let's face it, at the second part of the year, he had to step his game up a little bit because Darnell was hurt for most of the second half of the season. So he had to step up and show everybody he was that type of receiver. Again, I went through the stats. He was one of only 4 receivers last year with 1,200 yards, 100 touchdowns. Let's try it again. 100 receptions, 1,200 yards, and 8 touchdowns. He was one of only 4 receivers in the NFL to do that. That's pretty solid. There is obviously some worry about the impending contract coming up with Drake London, but you know what? I ain't heard him say nothing about it. I ain't heard the team say nothing about it. Let's worry about it when he gets here. But for right now, Drake London, confident, thumbs up, worried, thumbs down. Thumbs down would probably mean something like you think maybe he's gonna kind of do one of the things he's going into I know next year is the 5th-year option, but he's looking around, man. He's seeing his peers getting hate. He's seeing his peers getting broke off. So you know Drake wants to show out. So that's what I think needs to go down. DJ gives a thumbs up for Drake. Said Drake London is a dog. And that's no doubt. He's a tough something. And forgive me if I'm pronouncing this wrong. Davaris Myrick. He said JPJ doesn't have character issues. He just has a switch he turns on when he hits the field. Yeah, we're gonna get into James Pierce in a minute. I believe you too. I think the same thing. Rounds back to Drake. London said thumbs up, but I worry about Drake getting hurt. He takes a lot of hits. But yeah, you know what though? Drake usually comes back. I'm not saying he doesn't miss a game or two. Drake's a tough dude, man. He makes those tough patterns across the middle. I hear what you're saying about the getting hurt, but if it's anybody that I think will more than likely bounce back, it was the one. What was the one game where he was actually on the mic, where they had him mic'd up, and I think it might have been the Tampa game, and he went across the middle, and homeboy lit him up, and you heard the pain, and he still ended up going back out there on another play for the drive. That was either the Tampa game or the New Orleans game here. I can't remember which one. Island Mike in the house. What's going on, Mike? How you doing, man? He said, hi, Unc. Good to see you. Been a while. You coming to PR? Not this year, but I'll probably have to message you and let you know what's going on, but won't be able to make it this year. But, brother, I owe you something when we do get together, and we will get together. Trust me. I'm trying to say I would love for you to, if you ever step foot near that stadium for a game, you better reach out to me before you buy your ticket and come holler at me before you do that, brother. Travis says he believes in Drake London as well. Henry says London is another solid one. He said the scary thing is he can get better. And I think he's going to be even better if Darnell comes back. Now, again, Darnell's starting to worry me. This is 2 years in a row. That shoulder's starting to hurt. A little concerned. But, you know. Francis Hunt Washington, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. He said very confident in himself. He is. I mean, look, man, I like it. I like it. You got to have confidence. Miles Majors in the house. What's up, Miles? How you doing, brother? Good to see you. You said Michael Penix is going to be scary in 2025. Look, Miles, I think we're going to have an opportunity, I think, to see the possibility of some really good play this year with Michael Penix. No doubt. I think he's going to be scary too, my friend. I really do. Okay, let's go to the next player on this list. And folks, please don't shoot the messenger. It's just a question. 2025 Atlanta Falcons, confident or worried? Arguably, next to the backup quarterback, the most polarizing player on the Atlanta Falcons team. But folks, I think we're going to need him if we're going to be successful. My buddy and yours, number 4 pick, quote unquote, the unicorn, Kyle Pitts. And it's so funny because I feel like the temperature for him with the fans, you're either all in or all out as far as he's concerned. But tell me what you think. Are you confident in him? Thumbs up. Are you worried? Thumbs down. It is fair to not be confident in Kyle. Everybody keeps pointing back to, well, when he had Matty Ice, he went for 1,000 yards. Do y'all remember what we had that year? We had no Julio, no Calvin. If I'm not mistaken, Zacchaeus was probably our second leading receiver. We didn't have anybody. He had to throw to him. And yeah, he showed out. But, you know, it's just one of those things where you're just like, I don't know, folks. I don't know. Because if you're asking me right now, I'm worried. And not to say he doesn't have the potential, but I'm worried. So if you're confident in Kyle Pitts, give a thumbs up. If you're not confident in Kyle Pitts, and again, thumbs down doesn't mean you don't like him. It just means you're worried about what, is going to go on. You're just worried about it. Mike, you the man, brother. Always, brother. Love you too, brother. You the man. Demetrius says he's not. I mean, again, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad that he is saying that. What is Kyle Pitts giving you confidence in? The man has had 1, 2, 3, and 4 touchdowns in 4 years, and we drafted him number 4 overall. It's a fair expectation from fans. Now, I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't dislike Kyle Pitts. I like the attitude he's coming in with this year. I like the fact that there's banter between him and Michael Penix. But it's fair for you to have a pessimistic thought about him. Miles has one of those. He said, I hope Kyle Pitts gets at least 9 to 10 touchdowns this year. Thumbs up. And that's good. That's good for Miles. I hear you. Demetrius says, Kyle Pitts not even a real unicorn. He said, man, he ain't no unicorn, man. Fake news. He said, fake news. He ain't no unicorn. Oh, man. So, I mean, Henry says, Pitts to me, no. He said he's worried. Needs to play with more grit and urgency. That's just fans. That's just us talking. There's nobody's talking about him as a person. We're talking about what you see on the field. It's fair. Ron says, can we trade Kyle Pitts for $2 in food stamps? Hey, he might command more than that. I wish they could get something for him. But it'll be funny, man. Jeremy Cox, what's going on, Jeremy? How you doing, brother? Got me want to go buy some furniture, man. I'm going to go there and check you out. If we can trade for improvement, great. But I think he'll definitely be playing for his life here. He's got to, Jeremy. And again, he's another person. If you're going around right now, if you're Kyle Pitts, you're playing on the 5th-year contract. Jeremy, he's turning around and he's looking at all his peers getting paid. Even subpar tight ends. This is a tight end. I have no idea who that is. And he just got a deal for like almost $20 million. So if you're Kyle Pitts, whether you're with Atlanta or not, you got to show him. But that's fair. Chaka says, yeah, I'm worried. ATL Skaman says, worried. He's got to get it done this year. Round says, I don't know what to think about Pitts. I think he'll try harder than he has before, but I just don't know. That's super fair. Super fair. Henry says, I still think that lazy touchdown against the Bucket, man, I have to admit it wasn't a touchdown. They are so lucky. And he's talking about the touchdown where he kind of lollygagged around to the end zone. And I can't even remember whether Tampa couldn't review it or whatever the case was. But I remember him just kind of Cadillacing to the thing. Our buddy Dez did it 2 years ago, and they got him, but they didn't get Pitts. But when I saw that, man, that just showed me, I'm like, brother, you ain't even been in the end zone long enough to do that. Hold on to the ball, man. Stop all that mess. Mike says, Pitts is on my list. But for the team and me, I hope he does great. That would mean wins for us. And that's one of the reasons why I'm saying this with respect to him as a person. I hope whatever might have gone on in the past, he's like, you're getting a clean slate, bro. You get a clean slate with me. I'm good. So if you can do that and bring us a couple more touchdowns, I'm all right. So what we're doing, if everybody who's just coming in and you saying myself, well, all these thumbs ups and thumbs down, what we're doing is the 2025 Atlanta Falcons confident or worried. As far as the Atlanta Falcons are concerned, that was most of the offensive pieces. I'm going to do the defensive pieces as well, just to see where we are. Before I even go any further, I'm not going to put Jesse Bates on this list. I think Jesse Bates has more than proven that he is somebody who has been pretty solid for this team. And the one thing that kind of worries me about Jesse Bates right now, if you really want to know, is this right here. I'm getting ready to pull it up in on the screen, and we're gonna let's see what we got here. Let's see if we can pull this up. We are gonna share the screen with Jesse Bates and his contract situation. Now, if you're Jesse, make this a little bit bigger for those who can't see like me. Okay, so Jesse Bates, and I want y'all to hear me out. I'm not trying to get rid of Jesse Bates by any means. Get rid of this banner here so y'all can see. There we go. Jesse Bates signed a 4-year contract. First 2 years, he's been great. Jesse Bates is getting to the part of the contract where now here comes the big money. So we had an opportunity to get out of the contract this summer, and we didn't. So the Falcons are making the decision to probably ride with Jesse, which if you're doing that, I think Jesse is probably at the point where you're saying, okay, where either they're going to extend me or I'm going to be done after 26. Enter the Falcons draft selections. Xavier Watts, who seems to be getting some very good reviews up there right now, is closer, in my opinion, to playing the free safety side of things as opposed to the strong safety side of things, if you ask me. And I'm almost wondering, did the Falcons draft Xavier Watts as a possible fill-in for Jesse? At 2026, man, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. And Jesse is worth it. He's one of the top safeties in the league. But you also have to be realistic and wonder, I wonder, are they setting the table? Now, that's just me thinking. If it was me, if I was the Falcons, I would do everything in my power to keep Jesse there. But just something I wanted to bring up from Jesse. I'm not even going to put him on the list because I'm super confident in Jesse. I'm pretty sure most of y'all are confident too. I do want to check the temperature on AJ Terrell, though. AJ Terrell had a really nice year. He had a really nice year. And guess what? You know how I know he had a nice year? Because you never heard his name that much last year. The only time you didn't hear, you heard about Jesse was when he got hurt. Jesse did a solid job at cornerback last year. But I want to hear what you think. If you think Jesse did a solid, if you're confident in in AJ Terrell, if you're confident in AJ, give him a thumbs up. If you're not, if you're a little worried about AJ, give a thumbs down. If you're feeling worried about it. 330 in the house, man. What's going on, 330? How you doing, brother? Good to see you. Big Low says Jesse's gone. And see, that's what, again, I can't disagree if that happens. So that's why I'm saying when you see them reach up and get Watts, and remember, y'all, Watts was graded out in a lot of lists as a first-round pick. And it's not so much that he wasn't good, but the needs of teams were in other areas. People maybe didn't need safety. So when Xavier Watts fell to us, that sounded like a good deal. And who knows? Soak up all that knowledge from Jesse, and hey, you got somebody that still be on your roster for the next 3 years and really don't have to open up the book for him. Rounds, he changed things. He said gives Jesse whatever he wants. I hear you. AJ Terrell, Big Low says he believes in keeping him here. Henry says AJ, well, thumbs up, confident in what AJ will be doing rounds as well. DJ say he gives a thumbs up for Jesse Bates. I hear you. So that part of our secondary to me, I think, is in good shape. So I have no problem with that. The next guy I'm going to bring up on the list is a free agent that we brought in. And we've had middling success with bringing in veterans. We had so-so success with Calais Campbell. Then you turn around and you have Matthew Judon, who eventually put up the quote-unquote numbers, but really wasn't what we were thinking he was going to be last year. So this year's version of that is Leonard Floyd. And Leonard Floyd, Super Bowl champ, done some good stuff, no doubt. But for Leonard Floyd coming in right now at this stage for the Atlanta Falcons, it's a one-year deal, so there's no need to fret. But are you confident in Leonard Floyd, or are you a little worried? I know he addressed the question of whether he was brought in to kind of be a mentor, and he's like, "Hey, I'm here to work and do what I need to do." So, what do y'all think about Leonard Floyd? Leonard Floyd, if you think Leonard Floyd, if you're confident in Leonard Floyd, give a thumbs up. If you're worried, saying to yourself, "Ooh, he might be out of place. This is another one of those free agent signings," give me a thumbs down. Big Low says, if you want to know who the Falcons are going to let go next year, look at who they draft this year. Absolutely. Yeah. That is Terry's playbook. That is. Absolutely. So one thumbs up on Leonard Floyd. If you're confident in what Leonard Floyd is going to bring to the Atlanta Falcons, please put a thumbs up on the list. If you are not, thumbs down. Mike says, not on subject. I attained a grail of mine, a real Tony Gonzalez throwback jersey. Wow. Never seen too many on the market. I got lucky. One of my faves. Yeah. Tony Gonzalez is kind of funny. I like it's a tape out there with Tony Gonzalez and Shannon Sharpe, where Shannon Sharpe was trying to compare himself to Tony Gonzalez, and I was saying to myself, I said it was such an odd thing. Shannon Sharpe was trying to, I've been to Super Bowls and whatever, and Tony G was kind of debating with him, talking about how he won because of John Elway and stuff like that. But it was a funny debate. But yeah, hey man, that's good. Hang on to that for a little bit. Hang on to that one. That might be worth something later on down the line. That might be worth something. So this is another one, and the next two are going to be really interesting to see what you all say too. Confident or worried, and these are kind of tricky because he's a rookie. Jalen Walker, all of the confetti is done. Atlanta Falcons drafted the Georgia Bulldog. Rah, rah. Go Dogs. Now it's time to see if he's worth that. A lot of people thought during the college season, Jalen Walker was going to go top 5. Now, I know, again, sometimes it's on need, but is Jalen Walker, are you confident that Jalen Walker is going to do what he was projected to do coming out of school? And if that's the case, if you're the Atlanta Falcons, I mean, you're talking at least 6 to 8 sacks, right? So are you confident or worried about what Jalen Walker is going to be coming out of Georgia and being a rookie that we are absolutely counting on? This is not a case of get him and we need him to grow and develop. No, this is the case of Jalen Walker needs to fit in that slot, and Jalen Walker needs to produce right away in order for the Atlanta Falcons to be successful and produce at a level where he was drafted. So yeah, we'll see. Mike says, yes, I feel Walker will be great. No worries for me. I I'm one of those people that I'm kind of with rookies, it's kind of hard. And so I might as well go ahead and bring in the next one too, because both of them are kind of in the same boat. James Pierce. I'm in the same boat. So between Walker and Pierce, if you have confidence in the two rookies coming in and doing what they're supposed to do, give me a thumbs up. And if you're not, give me a thumbs down. I think it's pretty obvious that we are heavily dependent on some young folks. Braylon Trice, we haven't forgot about you. Coming off injury. Still, speaking of injury, still waiting to see what's going to be up. I know somebody talked about Troy Anderson earlier. I think Troy Anderson is fighting for his life to be on this team. I think Arnold Ebiketie, D'Angelo Malone, I think those guys are trying to see if there's still a slot. So Walker and Pierce, y'all have a thought on Walker and Pierce? Let's see. Dondre said, "What's your take on Parsons?" I mean, I think he's gonna sign with Dallas. If you're really honest, I think he's gonna sign with Dallas. I don't think he's gonna be here. I don't. I think this is all to do about nothing. Michael Parsons, I like him as a player and would love to see him in a Falcons uniform. But I think Michael Parsons might be a little bit of drama. I think in the end, I think you'll see that deal done by next week. He just needed to flex. He'll be fine. He gonna be. If y'all remember, Myles Garrett basically had the exact same post. Bye, Cleveland. It's been great. Y'all been good. It's awesome. I've demanded a trade from the Cleveland Browns. What was it? 3 days later, highest paid player in the league. I kind of believe Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones came out and said, nothing to see about that. That goes on in negotiations. So what the players do now, and I give them credit, what the players do now that they have social media, what they want to happen is they want all the fans to bombard the Dallas Cowboy website or team site with, if Michael doesn't stay, I'm giving up my season tickets. Blah, 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 blah. That's what they want. And as great as Michael Parsons has been in his first 4 years, nobody's arguing, nobody's debating or whatever. Yeah, the Dallas Cowboys will be fine as a franchise. The Dallas Cowboys, if they don't do another thing, if they were to cut Dak, CeeDee Lamb, don't re-sign George Pickens, Dallas Cowboys are going to be fine. That's that type of franchise. See New York Yankees, see LA Lakers. So the player is not going to be bigger than the team. Now, that being said, I know Jerry's he's going to resign Parsons. They just got to figure out what they're going to do. I think all of this is nothing but drama. Mike says Pierce has been a dog, thumbs way up. I hear you. Ron Thomas says Jalen Walker will be great, and Pierce too. Wallace Smith is in the house, man. I ain't seen you for a while. Wallace, what's going on, brother? He's giving him a thumbs up on those guys as well. Dimitri DJ gives Ebiketie a thumbs down. But I was talking. It's so funny. I was talking to my son about this not too long ago, and we were talking about Ebiketie. And look, I'm not mad at Ebiketie. We drafted him. Ebiketie has, because we've been so rank as far as sacks, Ebiketie has been the leading guy the last couple of years. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Dimitri says thumbs up on Walker and Pierce. Brown says, haven't seen Walker in action. But thumbs up on Pierce. Everybody's high on Pierce because Pierce out there starting fights and everything. Which again, I I'm like, I'm cool. I know you're out there in the hot sun and somebody's literally trying to run you over and things are gonna happen. I just like bottle it up, hold back, and I just get a little concerned about that in the game when 15 yards is a big deal. Wallace says, I think AK will still have a spot on the team, but for this season, and Malone will probably make it because of how good he plays on special teams. Yeah, and those are factors too. You gotta think about that. Love Bug is in the house. What's going on, Love Bug? How you doing? Thank you and welcome to Uncle Steve's Lounge. Again, as y'all coming in to Uncle Steve's Lounge, make sure y'all hit the subscribe button and then also like the video, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, or on Twitter or the X. Go ahead and let us know what's going on. Let us know you're out there. We appreciate you all joining us and going into the conversation. I appreciate it. Mike says, Uncle, have you been to camp yet? Training camp? No, I went to the OTAs, though. I was able to go to one of the OTA events, one of the last ones they had before they took the little break. So I did get a chance to see the T-shirts and shorts show, but I hadn't had a chance to see the training camp as of yet. Not sure if I am now since the season started. I probably, if anything, I might try to make a preseason trip, but I'm not sure. The very last player that I have as far as the Falcons are concerned, and then we'll then get y'all music acumen going because I really do. And I'll answer any other questions we have about the Falcons, obviously on here, but I really want to get into this music thing and see what you all think. The last person I have, and it's a fair question, folks. This guy, he's beloved. He was beloved for a couple of years, but Youngway had a really rough year last year. You can argue Youngway may have cost us 2 games. And I know eventually we found out that his hip was bothering him this year. But look, that's when you got to tell people and say, hey, my hip is hurting. We need to bring somebody in a little earlier. I think about the New Orleans game down in the Bayou. We that was a Youngway game. I think about the Chargers game, and yes, Kirk Cousins didn't help, but Youngway missed a couple in that one as well. We really needed him. And as a kicker, unfortunately, that's one of those positions where you're kind of saying, hey, I need you to basically hit 90%. You got to hit 90% for me as a kicker. 90% field goals and probably what? 90% field goals and what? 98% for extra points. I'm pulling up something right now for Youngway because I don't know if y'all realize it right now, and I know, and listen, I'm not naive. I know it's because that's how stuff is structured. But at this moment right now, Youngway Koo makes more money than Michael Penix. so I just bring that up to say, look, we got a kicker on our team making $4 million. And if we can't get 90% accuracy out of that kicker, I know we got the little young European guy that we got, Lenny Craig, also. But as far as Youngway is concerned, man, we need you to come through on those kicks, man. Not say we don't have love for you. We love you when you're doing good. But let's see. So Youngway, confident or worried? Confident, thumbs up. Worried, thumbs down for Youngway Koo. Michael says, I love Anderson's potential, but if he can't stay healthy, he will be cut. I believe you. Troy is definitely on the block. Henry said Kuz should be good, and I'd hope so. I really do. Because I like Youngway. And he before last year, he's definitely one of my favorite players. But I'm not gonna lie to you. When I look at that and I weigh out what you bring into the, as far as the wins are concerned, come on now. Wallace says Kuz should be. I'm trying to get this next thing here. Wallace says Kuz should be 100% on extra points and not miss none. I hope so. Mike said it's a business. Maybe the best kicker win, and I'll ride with whoever wins the job. I'm kind of there too right now. I can't hold on to fandom for that. Round says he's worried. Wallace, he's also worried. DJ says he's worried about Kuz. Henry says, how do you feel about your favorite Felipe Franks? Hey, listen, Felipe, if Felipe can give us some special teams, he played pretty good special teams for Carolina last year. Now, I told y'all the story. For y'all who don't know the story, I do have an affinity for Felipe Franks. When we went there it was one of the camps or practices that they were doing in the Dome. And it was the year that Felipe, I think, was backing up. Who was he backing up? Was he backing up Mariota? Or was it the year? Or was he backing up Matt Ryan? I forgot what was going on. But Felipe came on the team, and Felipe came over to my daughter and was super nice, super sweet, super inviting. And my daughter, who likes football, but yeah, well, now she loves football, or more importantly, loves Drake London. But at that time, he came over and just made her feel more than you're just your dad's daughter who's being brought over there, man. So I did, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I kind of fell under his spell, and he was a nice guy, and I just thanked him. And occasionally you'll see that picture come up. So I do have a little bit of a little love for Felipe. Mike says Ritter is still hanging up. Hey, Ritter's in Cincinnati, man. He's fighting for the backup job. I'm not sure he's gonna get it because I know Browning isn't going anywhere in Cincinnati. I know Cincinnati is where he did most of his stuff, but I don't think he's gonna be around that much. I'm trying to pull up something here. I was trying to pull up the picture so y'all can see the picture I was talking about. I got it. I'll pull it up. Oh, here it is. Let me share this with y'all right quick. Stop screen. Share screen. This is the picture I was talking about. So he came over, he talked to her, she had a camera, he was real nice. So I'm not gonna lie to you. I got some love for Felipe, so y'all can oh man. Demetrius says, didn't you say your daughter was crushing on Kuz at one time? Now she likes Kuz, but okay, when she took that picture, the picture that I just showed right there, I think she was like 11. She might have been, let's see, she might have been 11 or 12 when she saw that. So she liked Kuz, but DJ, Drake London, yeah, that's like a conquest. Like she like Drake London will do something on TV or whatever, and she's like, oh. So it's a whole different, if you have a daughter, yeah, it's one of them type, like the teen idol type thing. But yeah, she love us some Drake, man. So as and it is what it is. Hey, so listen. So again, if y'all have any more questions about the Falcons, we're gonna roll into that real quick. But y'all know it's the Sunday chill. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to throw this up there, man, because this was something that was really bothering. And keeping it, y'all know I love my music, which is fine. I love my music. Gotta have my music, whatever. So Billboard came out with a list recently of the top 75 R&B singers. So I'm trying to share the screen. There it is. Top 75 R&B singers. Now, their list, which I'm not going to argue with that. Listen, Stevie Wonder happens to be my favorite artist of all time. So obviously, I'm a little biased. But I'm also not going to try to pretend like if somebody had a problem with that. So this list came out. And if you look, they say best R&B singers of all time. So they started at the top 10. They said Marvin Gaye was 10, R. Kelly 9, Mariah Carey 8, Prince 7, James Brown 6, Whitney Houston 5, Beyonce 4, Michael Jackson 3, Aretha 2, and Stevie Wonder number 1. Now, before I get into the crux of our conversation, let me tell you what the criteria was. So y'all can, if you have questions. They say Billboard staffers agreed on the following criteria: vocal prowess, which prowess can be, I don't know, it's their body of work, career longevity, industry accomplishment, game-changing influence, and enduring generational cultural impact. So there was a lot as far as that's concerned. So it may not necessarily mean they had the most number one songs, they had the most hits on the charts. It means from an overall standpoint, add a little singing, add a little influence, add a little something this, then that's how they get the list. So it's 2 questions I'm going to ask you, in addition to any other things that you want to talk about as far as this list. 2 things. First, do you agree with the number 1 R&B singer of all time? They have Stevie Wonder. And if you don't agree with that, who would you put at number 1? So that's the first thing. Stevie Wonder, yay or nay, is number 1. And if not, who's number 1? And then as you look at this top 10 list, is there anyone you would take out and anybody else that you would put in as far as R&B? This is where I probably come in on this part, because as far as Stevie Wonder is, I'm sorry, not Stevie Wonder. As far as R&B singers coming in, I gotta wonder, is Mariah Carey a R&B singer? And again, you heard some of the criteria. Industry accomplishments, game changing influence. If y'all remember, Mariah, when she first started, Mariah really wasn't R&B. I mean, she had a beautiful song starting off with Vision of Love, but she wasn't really a R&B singer. So I'm not sure if that lofty position, is she deserving of that? Just to give y'all a couple of people that didn't make the top 10, but I felt like, ooh-wee, y'all are kind of weird. Ray Charles was number 11. Usher was number 12. Drop down the list. Mary J. Blige was 16. Janet Jackson was 17. Al Green was 18. Smokey Robinson was 18. I'm sorry, 19. The one that really blew my mind, because quite honestly, if you say R&B singers, I think this dude should have probably been in the top 5. Sorry, Beyonce, I would bump you out of that number 4 position. Luther Vandross is number 22. On that list of folks who came up with that, Luther, Luther, let me hold you. Luther, a guy whose literal name and song they lifted off was 12 weeks at number 1 earlier this year. Let me hold you tight for one night. Wait for love. Superstar. It's number 22. And you're going to tell me Luther Vandross, you're going to tell me Janet Jackson. Yeah, y'all going to hate me for this one. Mary J. Blige, who was at 16. Usher, R&B singer. Slow down, y'all, before y'all go crazy. Just because he walking up to you with a cherry don't mean he in the top 10. You mean to tell me Luther's not even in the top 20? So I want to see what y'all think. I'm just trying to see, am I losing my mind? Or I just don't get it. That will come down a little bit here. Brown said, did they define what R&B is? And they really didn't. That's an excellent question. But I did give the criteria for what their thoughts were on what it could be. So really, I probably have a different criteria, but I'm sorry, there's no list of top 10 R&B singers that Luther Vandross isn't in the top. And again, this is Steve, that he's not even in the top 5. Beyonce is culturally doing what she does. I understand the need to put her up top, but I'm not putting her over Luther Vandross. Bigelow says, I agree with that. Stevie has been doing it for a long time. And listen, I know today's generation, probably even in the last 20 years, you know who Stevie Wonder is, but there's no way that folks will know how Stevie probably was the first, not only huge crossover, but crossover music and culturally. Wallace says he would put Michael Jackson at number 1. I wouldn't have an issue with that. Because if you put, and again, singers, if you bring out some of the stuff Mike was singing with the Jackson 5, some of the most soulful stuff they were doing at Motown early, some of the things they were doing with the Jacksons when they went to CBS Records in the late 70s, early 80s, when he went solo. Like, Michael Jackson has a legitimate shot for number 1. It wouldn't have bothered me if he was there. Wouldn't have bothered me if Aretha was there. Actually, wouldn't have bothered me if James Brown was there. James Brown does not get the love he probably should be. That's not saying Whitney Houston isn't deserving of top 10, but James Brown was that. DJ said, I would probably add Chris Breezy and Usher to the list. Now, again, Usher is number 12, and Chris Brown is number 26. Now, I'm not saying I probably got a little bias. Listen, I like Chris Brown. I do like Chris Brown. I think he's a talented guy. I'm not sure I'm putting Chris Brown in a top 10 with the names that I'm looking right here, even those who are currently in jail. I can't put Chris Brown in the top 10. Usher might have a debate, but I don't mind Usher's spot. Because I'm looking at this top 10 right now. I'm not sure there's anybody aside of Mariah Carey on this list. Because if I talk about replacing somebody. I would replace Mariah with Luther Vandross and move Luther up a little higher. Bigelow says she's a pop singer. He's talking about Mariah Carey. Bigelow said, would the Temptations make the top 10? They would, but they were going strictly by solo singers on this particular one. That's why I know I mentioned Michael Jackson with the Jacksons and stuff like that, but they had made it clear they were going with people who were solo singers, which is probably why Smokey is a little bit lower on the list at 19. If you add the stuff he did with the Miracles and everything, that's maybe why Teddy Pendergrass is a little lower, not mentioning the stuff that he had with Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. So the Temptations, if it was a R&B list, period, Temptations would be top 5 easily. Rounds One says exactly. That's why I want to know what they consider R&B, and that's why I brought up that criteria. Demetri says, yeah, Mariah Carey is mostly pop, so she could go down and be taken off. I'd take her off. DJ said Luther at 22. That's crazy. Bigelow said that's blasphemous. Luther is top 5. Easy. Wallace says Luther should have been in the top 10. Absolutely. Bigelow says, I mean, Whitney Houston was mostly a pop singer too. Let me probably take a little half and half with you. Y'all remember when Whitney first came out? Whitney's first few hits when she first came out, she had to duet with Teddy Pendergrass. And it was clearly meant for R&B play. And if you listen to her debut album, the one with Greatest Love of All, what was it from? You Give Good Love, that was clearly meant to be an R&B album. So what happened was Clive Davis, when she got to the next album, which is Whitney, I Want to Dance with Somebody, and all of a sudden she learned how to dance and hooked up with Bobby Brown. When she got to that one, they were trying to make her the next Diana Ross, which was kind of like a clear, which is why Diana Ross is probably not in this as much as she's had a lot of R&B hits, why she's not in that either. You can argue that, but I think from a standpoint of her voice is so R&B, her voice is so soulful. Mariah Carey, to me, screams Barbra Streisand more than she screams R&B. And I don't know what y'all think about that. That, to me, that's what she is. So Whitney Houston, I would keep her on the list. I don't know if I would have her at 5, but I would keep her on the list. So Wallace said I would have put Mary J in the top 5 before Beyonce. Now that's an interesting thought. There are some other people that I would have put as far as I've made it very clear. I'm not a Beyonce fan. I like a lot of her songs. She has some songs that are catchy and everything like that. But I can't ignore her cultural importance, especially to the generation right now. See Mercedes-Benz Stadium a couple of weeks ago. But R&B is something kind of, I don't know. Because I'll even go as far to say Beyonce has thrived more in a hip-hop arena than she's, did I just change that? I think she's made more of her beings in a hip-hop arena more than she has in the R&B arena, if that makes sense. She's a very good singer in a hip-hop genre. Now, I know we just went through the Cowboy Carter stuff, so I get all of that. Am I saying she's not a good performer? No. Am I saying she's not culturally great? No. What I'm saying is, as far as R&B is concerned, I would easily put Patti LaBelle, who's number 25. I would easily put Chaka Khan, who's number 27. I would easily put Gladys Knight, who's number 30. I would put each one of them over her as far as R&B is concerned from a singer standpoint. From a cultural standpoint, yeah, none of the rest of them can't touch her. She's actually very well placed because culturally, Michael, Aretha, and Stevie, and should be James Brown, all should be ahead of her. So, uh, Wallace says Chris Brown could be in the top 15. I wouldn't argue if he got to the top 15. I just, eh, I mean, he's all right. He's out. DJ says, where would you rank Maxwell? That's interesting. I'm trying to see where they have. They have Maxwell at number 38. That's probably about right. There are some iconic names on here. I went through 20. Let me give you 21 through 30 real quick. Otis Redding, Donny Hathaway, Luther Vandross, Teddy Pendergrass, Bill Withers, Patti LaBelle, Chris Brown at 26, Shaka 27, Erica Baidu 28, Diana Ross 29, Gladys 30, a couple more, Anita Baker 31. I mean, there are some heavyweights on here. So, I don't know. Miles says, Steve, I got to ask you, what do you think about Leonard Floyd and Divine Diablo? I like the I like the signing of Leonard Floyd. I do like it. And Divine Diablo, quite honestly, I've seen him out there. I hear a lot of good things from the coaches on him. I actually haven't spotlighted him as much. More importantly, I've been looking at these rookies more to see when Pierce and when Jalen was on the field. Xavier Watts, who I feel like I think Xavier Watts is coming on this field, and I think he's meant to take a spot. So yeah, I'm looking at those guys. But yeah, I'll take a little look for him to let you know next time, Divine. Antonio, what's going on, man? He said, "What's up, Unc? Does Beyonce have a song that could move a crowd like Keisha Cole's Love?" Wow. Dudes even be singing it with feeling. And Keisha Cole is on this list. Keisha Cole is number, you're going to be mad, 71. She's 71. I mean, and that's what makes this list so cool, but then not cool at the same time, because you're saying to yourself, how could some of these people be where they are? Keith Sweat 66. Even though Keith Sweat, I like his stuff. Keith Sweat is a little gimmicky with his voice. Same thing with Music Soul Child. As much as I love Music Soul Child on record, I know live sometimes he can kind of be wishy-washy. He's 63. Right ahead of him is Anthony Hamilton at 62. Both of those guys, again, unique voices, but yeah. Rick James, 51. But Rick James, not an R&B singer. Yeah. Bobby Brown, number 49. Roberto Flack, number 30. Maxwell, 38. Frank Ocean, number 37. And a lot of people, you say Frank Ocean, you're like, R&B singer? I know a lot of people were really liking that, thinking about you and stuff like that. And he did. He got a soulful voice. You got to give him credit on that. Wallace says Diablo should be starting at middle linebacker with Ellis. We'll see. I'm going to see how they're going to do the linebacker core. I'm very interested to see how they're going to line up. Because listen, I don't know what Jalen Walker's position is going to be. So I want to see what Ulbrich is going to bring to that. Kay Nellis is going to be in there. I think they are higher on Troy Anderson than we think. I hear them talk about him even hurt about his role on the team. Now, that's now. But don't be shocked if he gets hurt and they throw him out there in the starting lineup. Don't be shocked. Round says, yeah, I always thought of Beyonce as more pop. That makes two of us. I think Beyonce is good, but I don't know. Demetrius says Frank Ocean over Maxwell is blasphemy. Yeah, again, you got to remember cultural impact was included in their criteria. I think Frank Ocean, uh, you know, is the alternative type of crowd out there that feels like culturally he's, you know, better. I definitely don't agree with 37. I don't even agree him being a true R&B singer. I think I like for the new school folks, I like Daniel Caesar. And I know he's not on this list, but I think he sings rings around Frank Ocean as much as I like Frank Ocean's music. But give me Daniel Caesar over him. ATL Skateman says Jeffrey Osborne. That's a good question. Is Jeffrey on this list? Jeffrey Osborne is not on this list. That is really weird. That's a great call, ATL Skateman. I'm looking at about 30 people that I would put on this list that I would put Jeffrey Osborne over these folks. That's a good call. He is not. This is 75. You're not gonna tell me Neo. You're not gonna tell me really. Oh, I said Keith Sweat. I think Jeffrey's from a soul standpoint much better. John Legend better. Bobby Brown better. The weekend is 47. That almost kind of nulls and void a lot of this stuff. Yeah, yeah. Some of these folks they got on this list, man. Y'all are hey, check it out for yourself. That is just really weird. Wallace says, from what I've heard, is that Walker is going to start as an edge rusher, and I kind of, you know, my son seems to think that they're going to move him around, kind of like they did Micah Parsons in Dallas, but that wouldn't shock me. That wouldn't shock me. Demetrius says, what are your thoughts on artists charging over $1,000 to do a meet and greet with them that's included in a VIP package? I seen that that's how much it is to meet Chris Breezy and Ice Cube. Now, I also have to remember that we are in a society now where pictures, videos, actions, and stuff like that are important to people. To be seen with a certain person, I do it myself. When I go to a Falcons game, of course I'm going to ask for a selfie with a couple of football players. I'm not paying them $1,000, but of course I'll do that. Demetrius, if that's what they feel like that value of that fandom is, more power to Chris, because I see all the provocative stuff Chris Brown does with all of his stuff, and more power to him if he has a fan base that's willing to do that stuff. It's almost the same thing with the Usher thing. If grown women gonna let a man who been sitting up there sweating and singing on there just put a cherry in your mouth from there, more power to you if that's what you want to be known for. Because it's like every time you see that, you see a video out on Twitter or something of somebody husband leaving them or boyfriend breaking up with them because that. But I'm not mad at Usher. I'm not mad at Chris Brown. But somebody paying it, Demetrius. Somebody's paying it. Because if they weren't paying it, you wouldn't see him. Or I don't know, Ice Cube is probably not doing all of that. But they do see for some of those. And when I went to Vegas a few years ago, and we didn't go to the show, but I think I remember seeing something with Barry Manilow at that time. And I think it was a meet and greet that you had to pay like an extra $500 or something like that. And I like Barry Manilow, some of his songs, but yeah, I take a picture. It's all good. So in other words, I wouldn't pay it, but I'm not mad at the artist for doing it because if there is a demand, if they can meet the supply, more power to them. Especially Chris Brown. If Chris Brown, you want to get So if you're gonna make some young lady's fantasy by taking a little provocative picture with her and whatever, and you can get $1,000 bank for doing it, and you didn't have to sing a note, more power to you. It wouldn't be me. Antonio said, "What about my boy Gerald Levert?" That's a good question. I don't think I saw Gerald on the list. Let's see. And there are definitely more females on this list. No, there's no Gerald Levert. There isn't. Now, also keep in mind, in defense, uh, Gerald didn't get a chance to get a lot of catalog out there. Well, Gerald may have had 3 albums, and I know he did the LSG stuff, but again, I think this is based on solo stuff. But yeah, Gerald, I would take Gerald over about 20 folks on this list, no doubt. DJ says, I didn't even pay that much when I met Jeezy. His VIP packages. Yeah, between 150 and 350. Now again, that's a little bit more reasonable if you can do that. Absolutely. And DJ said that man, Gerald Levert. Saying Gerald Levert, saying he actually took, I don't think he would have ever been better than his dad. For those that know Eddie Levert from the OJs. But if Gerald would have hung with us a little while, and I think we definitely would have been talking about him as one of those type of folks, as far as some of the great R&B singers around. So listen, again, I appreciate everybody joining me today on Uncle Steve's Lounge. It has been a while. I know we're going to do this a lot more going into the year. If you see this video after we've already done this, please give your opinions about which players are you confident about, which players are you worried about, and then also join our debate on the top, more specifically, the top 10 R&B singers of all time. Do you agree with Stevie Wonder being the number one? If not, who would you put at number one? And then also, is there anyone you would take out of the top 10 and insert somebody else? Some good conversation. I kind of felt a little strong about that when I saw the list come out. It's all for debate, and more importantly, it's all fun. I am so glad you joined me. If you didn't, please make sure you hit the like button on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed to Uncle Steve's Lounge, please do that. We got a lot more stuff coming into the season. This is going to be, I think, one of the most interesting years. I really think we are on track, talent-wise, to take this thing back to the playoffs. You know, obviously, you got to put it on the field and do what you got to do. But I really am excited about what we're doing this year. So again, join your Unc here on Uncle Steve's Lounge. I appreciate you all. Everyone have a blessed evening. We will talk to you soon. Preseason game coming up here in the ATL, Detroit against Atlanta. Everyone have a great night, and we'll talk to you soon.
You're in Uncle Steve's Lounge.